Kelris is a raid disbander. I have now had the opportunity to clear BFD multiple times with random groups and organized groups, and here's what I've learned. First, you're going to need two people with short cooldown kicks bare minimum. Generally, I see a paladin with rebuke and a rogue. These two have to kick shadowy chains every time it is casted. This is easier said than done as Kelris resists fairly often. If they miss or a resist happens, it casts a nasty dot on a player that can and must be dispelled. Kelris also chooses a player and casts a ramping Mind Blast. He will cast this 4 to 5 times back to back with each spell doing more damage. Ideally, you have a couple more people there to kick these Mind Blasts as well. If no one heals or interrupts this, it will generally kill the person he's targeting by the 5th spell. Kelris also takes reduced damage from casters. Mages have a really tough time on this fight. That being said, as of yesterday, December 12th, they reduced his resistances, so hopefully this has been addressed. But prior to the patch, if you had 2 or more caster DPS in your group, it was near impossible to do enough damage to beat him. During phase 1, he pulls the 2 closest people into a sort of spirit realm. The 2 people need to immediately group up and start killing the yellow NPCs. Roughly around 5 kills, a portal will spawn and take you back to the fight. Now, this seems semi-random. We've had people get the portal on the first kill, and we've had people kill 7 of them and not get a portal. If you do not get out fast enough, all the NPCs will rush you and kill both players. The portals are fairly hard to see and take a second to spawn, so make sure you're glancing behind you every few seconds to make sure a portal didn't spawn after you left. Side note here, there are also red named plated Voidwalkers scattered around. I haven't been able to confirm it, but I've heard rumors killing these will either weaken Kelris or remove some of the poison mist that fills the arena as the fight goes on. If you're hard stuck on this fight, maybe worth trying to kill some of these Voidwalkers before taking the portal to see if it will give you any advantage. Important note, Kelris will continue to pull 2 more members into the spirit realm, never pulling the same 2 people twice. This means if phase 1 takes too long, he will cycle through all the melee and end up pulling the healers down, which will be a wipe. For the casters, during this phase, he will throw a ranged AoE on the ground where the casters are standing. Generally, we have all the casters stacked at near max range and slowly moving clockwise around the room during the fight to keep the AoE as far away from the group as possible. If you have hunters or mages, it's best to have them stand slightly in front of the healers, so if the spirit realm mechanic cycles through all the melees, it will pull the ranged DPS down before the healers. Around 35% phase 2 starts. Generally, this is considered a bit of a DPS check. As soon as phase 2 starts, the melee need to spread out as much as possible as Kelris has a cleave attack that slaps. He grows and his hitbox is huge, so just spread out as far as you can while still in range to DPS. The gas is going to be creeping in here. Make sure you don't walk backwards into it. So that's a majority of the mechanically heavy parts of the fight. A couple other things that we've learned. There's a good chance that the tank is going to get pulled down into the spirit realm, either first or second group, which means that if you don't have a secondary tank, Lord Kelris is just going to go wild here. A hunter pet taunting and just holding him over during this time phase is very doable. So if you have a hunter, have him ready to taunt there. Ideally, you have a second tank ready to take over, but if they're both standing close, it's possible both tanks go down first portal. So in theory, what you'd want to do is have the secondary tank stand a little bit behind the DPS. So first Spirit Realm pull, it pulls either a tank and a DPS or 2 DPS. So there's a good chance that at some point your tank's going to be gone. So make sure that someone's ready there to pick it up. This is an expensive tip, but he does a lot of shadow damage in phase 2. You can pick up shadow protection potions. They're roughly like 70 silver a pop. So if the raid leader's really coordinated and paying attention and thinks that you can actually beat him in the state you're at in phase 2, raid leader can call for everyone to pop those shadow pots, and that could be enough to push you over the edge. If this was helpful, please subscribe and like my videos. About 99% of people that watch my videos are not subscribed, so please help me out and I'll continue to make these. Thank you.